Still, you know, kind of skimming the surface a little bit at the moment, but for some reason it doesn't want to correct the roll. Actually, what settings on this? I've probably not... Yeah, that's fine. Derivative is defaulted to some bonkers value and I saved it. 0.1. Will I actually correct the roll? There's one blood saw not reversed. Hang on. Probably be right. Reverse. Reverse. Reversed. 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 No, all 6 are reversed. It's just listing really rather heavily at the moment. Let's bump you up to 20 meters. And then actually do something with your gain and provide some correction controls. No, look. Correct. PID, do something. Look. You're providing a thrust. All a preset, good. Nope, doesn't want to do anything. Does not want to do anything. So strange when it decides to just hold weird locations like that. Okay, let's just test if it wants to hold it at 10. Can you hold at 10? Good. It won't hold at 10, but that's fine. Now revert back to 0, horizontal. It seems to not be able to do that. But isn't the integral though the one which you want high? I thought integral was the one you set you set high for it to function. Because setting the integral at either high or low, it's... You know, tweaking the integral doesn't seem to be doing anything. So I've set it really high, really low, and it's doing absolutely nothing. Brilliant. Randomly list to the other side now. Yay. Something is very weird. My bet is on the breadboard, so I'm going to put on PID systems. So at least I know the weirdity with this one. This is the standard setup I do for all my PID when I do it. I always do it like this. Pitch, promote, pitch. And then this is the altitude, mean sea level, it's above terrain or waves. The altitude is one I might still do by the PID breadboard, so I can do matching altitude, because that's something I really do quite like the idea of. M5, 30, 0.1, set fake point at 20 meters, please. And release. And everything's reversed, isn't it? One, continuous. Removing the breadboard like this isn't so bad, because what I use one breadboard or 3 of those. So it's another 80 materials, but why are you not thrusters fire? Oh. There we go. There we go. Now it's firing. Yeah, it's not worse. It's just one thing I do quite like about keeping the PID as the block is that you have this Instagram, so I can actually try and correct things. Just listing a fair bit. It's bouncing a fair bit here. The roll is pretty much set spot on. Now this is oscillating pretty nicely, so let's increase the gain. That increases the amplitude of that. Let's reduce the derivative to that. Yeah. Trying to. This thing was perfectly stable earlier, but oh, the grain. Oh, actually, you have a really low derivative. Oh, so low derivative, sorry. Increase integrals slows from 0. Okay, so derivative to 0.5. Okay. Interesting, some oscillations there. What's the waveform I'm actually trying to formulate? Huh. Yeah, it might be still. Actually, it could be. This has got a lot because these thrusters are actually very, very powerful in this thing for altitude. Because they're combined altitude and pitch. Because they were designed as all four of them, well, all six of them were separate individual altitude controlled by ACB. I could still control this, I suppose, by ACBs, actually saying, you know, which one is, you know, if pitch is too high, operate this set. If roll, I could still do that via still manually on the breadboard, rather than PIDing it. I could do that. But things with PID, I thought I was hoping it was going to be a nice simple setup rather than, you know, this. No, I prefer the elegant solution. What is... It's the... It was the altitude which was messing things up. Because I hadn't set this one, this temporary one, in line with the centre of mass, so it was talking. Well, this is looking pretty stable. Now I've actually got to fix that. That pitch is a very slight oscillation there. A little bit more as the altitude kicks in. Above terrain or waves. This is... I don't want it just waves. I want the mean sea level or terrain, which is an option on the breadboard. Going to set mean waves. It's a lot smoother flying. Refueler. Yeah, well, as I said, I was hoping to do that with the breadboard. This just seems so much neater. It seems to work really well with the normal PIDs. Now it's time to sort the altitude out. And this is where the whole thing will crash and burn, and I will be annoyed. So go back to this here, 80, like so. Good. Right. Delete. No, wait, it's almost. We're almost level. Right, save. it's hovering. It is actually hovering. And that is taking me 1 hour 40. Yes! Not with breadboards as I was hoping, but it is actually functioning, so I will leave it at that. I've messed my brain up for far too long. Now I need to actually give this guns. And as you may be able to tell, she doesn't have much space. Might put the AI back here, in fact, where I originally had a PID thruster. Oh, I also need to set up a breadboard to sort out these thrusters at the back as well. Because currently these thrusters are being operated by these ACBs to, to provide differential thrust on either axis. But I could do that with a breadboard, I know I can. But I'm done with that interface for the moment. Okay, so how much management we got? Okay, we've got around 8,000 to play around with here. Can set up torpedo banks or missile banks, and that will be a good thing. So let's set up. Excellent. I will have a look at that hover tank after this. I was hoping it would have been nice and simple, and I'd gone, yay, it all works perfectly fine with the one which I've worked out in that tester. One thing I forgot about the tester is that I hadn't actually checked if it worked on a design without pure upward thrust. So yeah, silly me really, but there we go. So I like these 3 connectors. And small launchers, and these I would quite like to have as ejectors, in fact. Let's grab the ejector. So we're up to a decent amount, and these are actually decent warheads, oddly enough. I've got one saved up. What was this? Not that one. Load. So this is a... I think this was something from your craft, actually, isn't it? At home? I'm sure this is. I think this is something you... from on your craft. Yeah. I think this was... yeah, there was a couple of craft things you'd been adjusting, and I was messing around with them. So I'm just going to do explosives on this one. I want to see how well it functions. And ejection, elevation... will be pure upwards launch, and then there will be a start delay of 1 second. And free space will be utilised for fuel, I think. Guidance delay will have okay. Right, I'll actually see how these work. copy to all matching launch pads. Right. I will save the vehicle. No, the missile design. I think it was actually from one of your craft. I nicked it. One of the Lightning Hoods ones you'd been editing. I've got friend and foe. Stop hitting me. Nah, the craft's mine. I know that much. The Leander is. One, two, three. Put some beams across here. And now when it launches, it won't instantly crash and burn. Oh no, it will, because they forgot to put friend or foe on there. Identify friend or foe, please. And I could really do with more space around here. I would reload a staggered fire add-on and then put that to around about 0.2 of a second. Right then, okay. Right, so Onyx Watch. I've been putting things in regular. Bastion. Oh, they're getting caught. So what are they getting trapped on? And so the bottom ones... Okay, the bottom ones do actually get trapped on each other. Right, okay. I was hoping that they would be able to launch up and out. And I forgot to save it with the add-ons. Okay. There. And then I want missiles. Staggered. Put a 0.2 second delay on them. And then identify friend or foe. Oh. No, I hadn't done that. I thought they could attach on the base. I was wrong. Is it the medium ones which can attach on the base? I'll do none of them. Oh, okay. My bad. I thought they could attach on the base. Ejection, let's put it a little bit forwards on there. Let's quickly save the vehicle. And Bastion. There we go, that's more like it. Of course, the missiles aren't really doing anything. Because they're explosives against metal. I could just put actually a proper sized, like a medium missile launcher on the top, although. True. They'll probably be fine against the deep water guard, to be perfectly honest. But since Tier 1 need to be able to combat both deep water guard and Onyx Watch, though obviously I can tailor them a little bit. Though, if you saw my last series, I am terrible at that. Oh yeah, I can easily fit a decent torpedo in. You know, I can fit space under here, look, you know. I've got plenty of space. There's space for an ABS in this thing. I think you put it in, didn't you? Was it you or Awana? True. Load vehicle... Old... No, it's not my old. Where is it? Quest Finita, friendlies. There it is. Yeah, the teeniest of turrets. There we go. The teeniest of turrets. It's actually affordable though. There they are. Ah, teeny little turrets. You can make probably a lot better turrets now with the whole direct feed thing. Yeah, the old one does not move as well as the new one, does it? Yeah, it still turns terrible. No, yeah, the turning system wasn't particularly good. I tried having differential thrust on the thing. Ah, I did have differential thrust. Looks like the version you took or used on this didn't have the differential thrust set up. Which could be why it's not turning properly. Hang on, did you put GravRam on this thing? You did! That's why the Bastion's dancing. On one hand, I can utilise these ones here. I know, let's try putting a huge missile on here. Although those are... They're 2x2, aren't they? It won't be central! That would so irritate me. I can't do that. I can't have a 3x3 in there. Well, let's utilise some more standard sort of missiles here. Do a... Is an idea to actually have fins at the fore and aft as well? Or just one set? Yeah, they do look expensive to maintain. Ammo per second, 26. Yeah, I can operate one. I think one missile is a little bit bit of a problem, really. With a small launcher, but 17.3 per second, is that for the whole thing or just per missile? Oh, it's for the whole thing, right. So we would be able to maintain these, it's just they are a little bit, you know, on the weaker end of things. Unless I put a missile turret on this thing. Might have a missile turret somewhere. Oh, the smart bomb launchers. Yeah, they're kind of got the smart bomb launchers now, ridiculously expensive. My sort of plan is I won't defeat the Deepwater Garden Onyx Watch. So rather than clearing them all out, they'll still be there, and I'll just kind of like clear them up in the background, rather than just kind of like skip through them, as it were. Because I still want to be able to, you know, have the craft face off against the Onyx Watch and all that sort of thing, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of expensive to keep them all going. Let's go for variable thruster, fins, APN guidance, single pixel. We'll go for that as the internal fuel. How long is the flight duration? 9 seconds. Go for fuel tank. Okay. See how this thing operates against Bastion. Oops, actually helps if I configure all the missiles the same, wasn't it? Aircraft, come on. Right, operational. Come on. Oh, where are you? There you go. Come on, fix up. Get back on the surface. Yeah, now it's up. Kind of take on Telemachus. You can at least try that, can't you? Okay, that was a bigger boom than I was expecting. Goes the ammunition for this thing. I don't think I can maintain it, actually. No, there's difficulty spotting with that. Well, that, there. Right. Not the single pixel. Let's go for the active radar seeker. Is one of my favourite ones. Against most craft, actually having it for launching torpedoes would probably be superior, wouldn't it? But need it to be able to at least target and shoot at aircraft. Of course, something like the area is going to completely massacre our fleets, but yeah, there's some big damage numbers coming up at the moment. What's 67k for the trio? That's pretty good, and it's still within limit, so I can beautify this up a little bit. Or actually need to upgrade the ammo, because currently it's draining far too much ammo. Because it needs 67, and I only have 30, so I'm only on half ammo capacity. Ammunition in this thing is difficult. Yeah. But yeah, I'm actually thinking something like this a deck-mounted missile turret like this would probably be a nice idea. So rather than that, could probably go for the swarm missiles. So the actual I don't have one set up, but get myself a 2-axis turret and do it like that. And this is, I do quite like this hull. So it's the original hull of this. It was the patrol boat, wasn't it? No, not the patrol boat. Others. Patrol. Just the patrol. Yeah, this was the original concept I had of this craft. Giving it simple lasers and LAM system. So the idea is that it would be a actual support craft and able to take it down, basically designed specifically to take down squirrels. The squirrels kind of a bit meh now. But that's now sitting at 28k, mainly because of all the detailing we're using missile components, which are ridiculously expensive now. Oh yeah, I've got the super tweedies. That is actually something I need to add in. I need to add back in. Where's the super tweedy? There's the super tweedy. Lemon things. Yeah. Lemon super tweedies. The Leander, I think, might be able to take this out with its missile racks. Oh wait, need to actually spawn as the enemy team. But yeah, I've got the super tweedy. Now, these also can be upgraded as well. That's got another 8k to spare, but I'm glad I got this thing sort of working. At points. Sometimes it may need a little bit of help to get itself up out the water, but well, it seems to be going okay. Yeah, sort of. Come on, considering that the first hour of this stream was me not even getting this thing to hover, this is a big improvement. Actually, if I just dump all of these as pure EMP, does that improve matters? Question. I know, right? Okay, so that spread of EMP works really well against the Bastion. However, he will also be facing things like the Bulwark. Oh, it will have friends. So, there is that, I guess. Of course, the Bulwark is completely capable of shooting every single missile down. One hit. On the plus side, we are going to be adjusting these fragmentation spam to flak, so they won't be as powerful, but yeah, true, most godlies are basically immune to EMP, which is kind of annoying, but hey, we're doing more damage to it, mainly because the Bulwark decided to shoot itself now, but it's one that dodging cram's okay. And then the fragmentation spam comes in and it's lost half of its hull already. And I just took a cram to the face. I still don't know you can't skip this. How's the bullet doing? It's basically unharmed, isn't it? It's taken those shots there from its own guns. No, this definitely has potential with some of its. So it just EMP'd itself. Pitch, because that gain is so low. Just put the gain up and now it's going to do all over the place, isn't it? There we go. Cool. Up to us here, 8 meters long. Yeah. One craft I was thinking of trying against the Onyx Watch is actually one which has a central single missile. I'm thinking I'm going to have that as one of my flyer, my fast response craft. Have just a dive bomb, a single huge missile, short range, like a short range thruster, about 8 blocks, and just dive bomb targets and just launch the missile at them. Maybe with some screening, but fire some other missiles first, slightly longer range, to take part of the well, anti-missile screen, and then just let it do massive thing. Oh, that's a point. Yeah, just dump it with a big thruster with no thruster. Because are they undetected if they have no thrusters? How much is huge missiles? Good grief, that is expensive. Thumphead. I imagine that just Thumphead as well, it's a lot of damage it does. Let's try this out for size, eh? Where is my ejectors? Uses a lot of ammo, but short range thruster, 2 fuel tanks. On the plus side, it's going to do a lot of damage. Do remote guidance fins on this beast. With arming delay, and then like to eject it at a 30-degree angle. Guidance delay, that's max duration 5 seconds. Yep, so it only got a couple of seconds duration. No, it should take us off heat sheet damage. Yeah. Start delay 1 second. Hey, Bastion. Say hello to my little friend, which is already aiming in the wrong direction because I forgot to aim you. start delay 2, and then actually just launch it basically vertically. Like that. And it aims towards the target, turns barely. I think it will work a lot better as that than on this. Well, you need the one turn really, but you aim it at its target. Ammo processors. Missile ground guns, just skimming the top there. One launch or reload. There we go. That did nothing. Well, the one turns were meant to do something. I suppose maybe its turn rate is, 6 degrees. It's I think I might need a second fuel tank. I don't think this is a viable weapon system on this craft, but come on, it's trying a bit of fun at this point. Yeah, it's not remotely working. I think actually having a 2-axis missile launcher on this would do well. Just deck this. Flatten this deck out, put a 2-axis turret on this so it can fire at land or air. And I don't need to worry so much about guidance systems. Let's actually go work on a missile launcher just for this craft. So load up vehicle. And go for tester. Load in the test bed. Who's doing this? Weird. So a 2-axis mount. Want it on a raised beam. This is just the wood, you see? It instantly flicks into place once done. It's weird. New object, I would quite like a 2. New sub-object? Turrets, there we go. 2-axis turret, please. Let's aim it in the correct direction. New object, turrets, 2-axis. I want that there, and then I will have friend or foe. And stagger fire, I guess. And then small launcher, gantry, 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 gantry. And like that, I guess. Where is the thing? Controller. Don't need to identify friend or foe, really, do I? Dagger fire. Why is this not connected to the missile controller? Does that not count? Well, can you not connect to the base? Huh, okay. Fair enough. Why are you not... Goodness sake. We could do the rail one, but honestly, the one which is armoured is just tougher, isn't it? Seems a bit silly to have the same cost, but not actually tougher. The others make more sense because, like the medium launcher, that actually adds missile components. Same with the actual rails. Same with the small rail and that. So this launcher should be able to do most axes pretty well. Well, actually, no, it won't fit in a 3x3 housing, will it? It won't fit in a 5x5. Bit of a problem there. Was here. Staggered fire add-on can fit there. That's fine there. And it's this one, that one can be used. This one, and this one for the axis. Okay. And do some missiles. Then these are actually going to have fins at the very front. I think part of each, I think. Then I would like to have remote guidance on these things. They've got good turning rates. Frustration is they live far too long, so I need some... What is it? Utility, is it? Regulator. Last it for 20 seconds. Fragmentation. I'll put another fins on them. They could put Thumperhead on. Well, how much life does that give them? 126. Doesn't actually make them that much tougher, does it? So it does make them, I think it's a little bit faster, I guess, so put that on. Regulator 20 seconds, still got way too much thrust on board. weapons, prediction guidance, not for fuel. I will have it. Enforcement? No. H. EMP for HE. A little bit more explosive in you. A bit more fragmentation. Something like that. That seems quite a nice little missile. I will save you as a 20-second general. Small. And 4. Yeah, so it's a bit of a tougher one than before, but let's see how it actually fares if I get some detection. I need to remember to place detection on here, otherwise nothing is going to detect anything. I need to get a better prefab for my detection systems, but still. Bastion. Oh, wait. It would help if I put a local weapons controller on this thing, then it would actually be able to aim.
Listening. Engaging now.
Okay. Lambs. Why is my lambs shooting down my own missiles? God. Oh. Remote guidance. Thanks. I meant remote guidance. That's why. Thank you. There you go, this bank of missiles should do much nicer. Okay, they're knocking each other off course quite a lot. Like that. So my EMP frag is quite nice. Oops, no, Warhammer can't play there. First, I would quite like you going a lot faster than that. Fuel tank. Where's the... Remote guidance had... Oh no, remote guidance doesn't have space. Get ready to fire. The remote guidance is aiming towards the underside, which is interesting. So if I do want to do it, I want to probably go active radar, fuel tank. They shoot them down because I don't have identify friend or foe on them. I didn't know that was a thing. Let's see. Are my own lambs just going to shoot down? No. Okay, my own lambs were shooting down my own missiles because I hadn't got identify friend or foe. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought identify friend or foe only counted for the actual missiles themselves, not, you know, in terms of shooting them. Interesting. Now let's actually see if when they face something like the airships, it's like the Atlas. Of course, fragmentation just make a mockery of the Atlas. I'm just checking. I think, okay, yeah, I've been going for 2.5 hours and I've barely done a thing. Right. Now, this seems like it might be a decent option, or something akin to this for the weapon system on the Leander. It does allow it to track things quite easily. The Leander seems quite happily just to launch everything slightly vertically and then just go from there, but see, this does allow EMP to just rack through the craft. Now, you got huge bombs. Seriously? That is just ridiculous on the Atlas. I need to edit that off. Something about the hoplite. Right, so the hoplite is actually difficult to hit because it is so small. Right, okay. We've still got it on the remote guidance. Oh no, well, one's somewhere on the remote guidance, somewhere on the active radar seeker. It could be the active radar seeker which is having a little bit of difficulty with some of them. So something like the Falkenheim. How does it cope with this here? The missiles go directly for the main craft and mostly miss. And missing is actually quite a concern for me now with missiles because they're so expensive. I kind of don't want them to miss. Well, it's AI dead there, so that's pretty good. And one that's just crashed into its own craft. Fair enough, fair enough. See, I don't really feel the need to have the huge array of rockets in a 2-axis turret like this. The huge array seems to be good for taking on surface craft, breaking through land systems, but this sort of array, this sort of system I think would do basically as well with just single rails. So exactly the same setup, but just a couple of the missiles. Come on, see if we can hit it. It's a little bit longer to reload, mind, but I think there's a bit more potential for certain anti-aircraft capabilities on the craft, and give himself a couple of different weapon systems rather than just one. But no, the missiles do well at taking out fairly erratic craft, but yeah. I get that could be a problem with the missiles. And magnet bombs, yeah, they're always something I quite like the idea of. So I even have good old prefab, not prefab, but sort of the smart bomb launchers. Of course, they're just ridiculously expensive now, but they're good fun. I have a sort of concept for the Leander, I guess. And then the Arethusa, this... I think the Arethusa is pretty much going to say the same. Might make her a little bit longer. But... yeah, she's close to the maximum already. I think can just beef her up a bit more. Adjust some of these detailing systems. Because actually replacing all of this with mimics is actually quite expensive. Because I'm using very cheap pipe for detailing here. And it is actually offering protection to the propellers, so yeah, that's something I've got to consider. Yeah, the Leander, because let's have a look. The Leander seems fine. The Amethyst, the main gun, is old and needs adjusting because it's not quite right. I can basically put more components into it because I've got too many coolers. It's overcooled. I think I probably can reduce a few of the coolers, maybe add in another ammo thing and actually have a slightly higher, even higher fire rate on it, which would be really nice. Good high rate of fire belt blasters, always good fun. The LAM system seems to be alright actually, but with the extra materials and that I have, I can make it just that little bit stronger. And then same with some of the other systems. So again, I'm utilising multiple Dediblade systems here, each of which is controlled by separate ACB controls, and I can just reduce all of that to a much more efficient either breadboard or PID system. Why are you not gone? There you go. Start her up. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to leave it for there for now because I spent far too long initially messing around and completely failing to understand the breadboards, which I thought I knew what I was doing with. But anyway, thanks for turning up, and I will see you around sometime soon. Until then.